You see, Assam politics is torn between a person who's the chief minister, occupies a high constitutional office, who's openly indulging in hate against minorities.
And the government at that point of time had, put in all its effort to defeat Gaurav Gogoi. Yet he won, and he won with a very good margin. This is part of Assam's identity politics. So you have to see Mr. Sharma's speeches and hate speeches and his comments, controversial comments, in the context of what the state has gone through in the past 50 years.
The BJP is forcing ahead as far as this election campaign is concerned. Prime Minister has already come 3 times. Home Minister had come twice. Prime Minister is coming again and addressing 4 rallies in the next few days. Congress is the main opposition party, but unfortunately, Congress has not been able to force a big alliance which can really put off a tough fight to the BJP. But if you ask me, if I have to stick my neck out today and say who has an edge in Assam, I would definitely say it is the BJP and its allies.
Hello and welcome. You're watching me, Sanket Upadhyay. This is The Federal. The name of the show is AI with Sanket because news in India today requires not artificial but analytical intelligence. That's why AI with Sanket. We have an ongoing series of reports and attempts to understand elections in the various states. We spoke about Tamil Nadu, West Bengal, Kerala, and now it's important to speak about the other most important state, Assam. Small state in the northeast, but very, very significant. The challenger. Whether this challenger, the Congress party, will be able to end its 10-year drought and come back to power. Can Mr. Gaurav Gogoi deliver? The infighting, the divisions, the attrition, will that prevent the Congress party's run? Or will we see a situation where, despite very open, hurtful and hateful comments by the Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sarma, despite a 10-year anti-incumbency against the BJP and 5-year anti-incumbency against him, will he still manage to come back to power? How crucial is the issue of infiltration that he is raising in the context of Assam? And will questions not be asked of the BJP that between the state and the center, for over a decade, it is a BJP rule. So if there is infiltration along the border, should these questions not be asked of the central government, of the central establishment? How will these elections pan out, particularly for the person who in Assam's electoral politics has become synonymous with the state, the Chief Minister, Himanta Biswa Sarma? We put this to a quick discussion. Joining us right now is senior journalist Sandeep Phukan. Let's try and decode how Assam is going to vote. Mr. Phukan, thank you very much for your time. You see, Assam politics is torn between a person who's the chief minister, occupies a high constitutional office, who's openly indulging in hate against minorities, versus a challenger, an opponent which is weak, that it cannot even keep its flock together. MPs are resigning, MLAs are resigning and joining the BJP. How do you look at the situation in Assam?
Well, I wouldn't say that, I wouldn't entirely agree with your description of the challenger being weak. Don't forget that, it is undoubtedly the chief minister is very powerful and he's quite popular and he's an extremely clever politician, shrewd politician, but at the same time, despite all of this, despite Mr. Sharma trying his best to defeat Gaurav Gogoi in the 2024 Lok Sabha elections, which was a new seat in terms of, Gaurav Gogoi fighting earlier 2 terms, he had contested from a seat called Koliabor, which the Koliabor seat underwent delimitation, and that constituency was no longer suitable for him. So in in that scenario, he moved to Jorhat, which is actually his hometown, his father's hometown. And the government at that point of time had, put in all its effort to defeat Gaurav Gogoi. Yet he won, and he won with a very good margin. So quite clearly, he had managed to, defeat the BJP in its own turf, because for 2 terms, 2014 and 2019, Jorhat seat went to the BJP. So, so I wouldn't completely agree with it, with the description of being a weak challenger. But yes, Congress has lots and lots of organizational issues. If I were to sort of go through this election state, first thing that I would have done is perhaps appointed a new All India Congress committee in charge. Bhawar Jitendra Singh has been there for quite some time now, and he wasn't successful in the last assembly election in 2021. I would have, first of all, to begin with, I would have tried someone new. Secondly, if they had to make Gaurav Gogoi, who's also, you have to understand, Sanket, this is also a generational fight in many ways. MPs leaving, senior leaders leaving. Bhupen Bora, for example, has been there, for 3 decades in the party. Started as a student leader. So quite clearly, I mean, Gaurav Gogoi must have been in school or just about passing school when he had already entered politics. So there were many reasons. I mean, they could have done this slightly better. You don't change your general midway or in the middle of a battle. That's what Congress did. I mean, they should have, if they had to bring him, then they should have prepared the old guard that, look, we are thinking of now changing our leadership. You all are important, but we want to make this Mr. Gaurav Gogoi, who, despite all the odds, managed to win the Lok Sabha seat. We will make him the PCC chief. Either they should have done that way back in 2024, immediately after the Lok Sabha elections, or they should have continued with Mr. Bora until this assembly elections were over. And then, in any case, Congress has a policy of not declaring their chief ministerial face. Why was it so different for Assam? I don't understand. I mean, they could have just gone ahead with a collective leadership. So I would say that there were these, I would still say that it could have been handled better had the AICC in charge been, because a fresh person comes with a fresh approach. Bhawar Jitendra Singh, I mean, this is nothing, it's not a comment on his personal capabilities. He's been around, he's tried it. So somebody could have come with a new approach and perhaps done things differently. All these things have happened way too close to the election mark, and it almost appears as if the Congress party is now unraveling just days before or weeks before the election. It's not great optics.
It may not be great optics, but Mr. Sandeep, that's the question that I'm asking. You are up against a man who is, yes, you're right, popular, but at the same time, some of the comments that he has made are hateful, hurtful, just wrong. And yet, he goes on and continues because quite often in the context of Assam, it is said that there is no challenger or a strong challenger to him. So you may not call the Congress weak, but with so much of infighting and lack of a sort of a cohesive fight, will it create a situation where Mr. Himanta Biswa Sarma will power on again for another term?
See, I have to sort of, yes, I mean, there is little doubt that what the Chief Minister said would be seen as hate speech. And in fact, he was taken to court by a lot of, I mean, there were Assamese Muslim organizations who took him to court. I think there's a notice issued to the Chief Minister in the run-up to the elections. But remember, it's in some ways, it's also a clever ploy to force the Congress to make, like you have in tennis, forced errors. So you have, see, the point is that this is part of Assam's identity politics. So you have to see Mr. Sharma's speeches and hate speeches and his comments, controversial comments, in the context of what the state has gone through in the past 50 years. Okay, so there was from 79 to 85, there was what is called as the anti-foreigners movement. And then it was decided, it ended up in signing up what is also known as the Assam Accord, where a certain cutoff date was agreed upon by three parties: the All Assam Students Union, the Assam government of that time, a Congress government, and the Rajiv Gandhi government at the center. And it was decided that people who have come into Assam after the midnight of March 24th, 1971, they will have to be detected and their names from the electoral rolls will have to be deleted and then eventually deported. That was, the three Ds that was agreed upon. And thereafter, based on that Assam Accord, there was a regional party, the Students' Union actually, ASU, All Assam Students' Union. It, literally from university hostel rooms, Sanket, they went and student leaders became chief minister. Prafulla Kumar Mahanta was the original student leader who became, phenomenon in those days in politics. And he became a student leader to a straight chief minister. In fact, he got married after he became chief minister. And so he was that young, early 30s, 32, I think. Then his deputy, Mr. Bhrigu Kumar Phukan, late Bhrigu Kumar Phukan, and so many other people who came in and gave an alternative to Congress politics in Assam. Okay, so they formed the government between 85 and 90, and that was initially they started off well, but then it was a very tumultuous period because one segment of the movement became violent. Then you saw the Alpha, the United Liberation Front of Assam. There were kidnappings. The history. There was a very violent history that we've had in the late 80s, 90s, early 90s. So in that context, Mia, the word Mia in Assam is used pejoratively. Okay, so they actually mean to refer to the people who have come in from Bangladesh, undocumented settlers in Assam who have come in from Bangladesh and who were supposed to be detected and deported as per the Assam Accord in 1985. Now that is the politics, that is the identity politics. So what Mr. Sharma is doing, that is the background of the politics. And of course, AGP, failed miserably to come good either on its promise of, detecting and deporting foreigners or even basic governance. Then because of that, AGP was punished. After 2 terms, Congress came to power. And Congress came to power and the people of Assam gave them uninterrupted 3 terms from 2001 to 2016. That is also the period which is known as the turnaround period because militancy had come down. You saw a little bit of investment coming in. And generally, things started to stabilize and normalize. Mr. Himanta Biswa Sarma himself was part of that, Congress turnaround process, and he was seen to be very close to Tarun Gogoi. He was one of the very close ministers. In fact, even the other person who's just left the other day, Pradyut Bardula, he was also very close to the former chief minister. So many of them, see, at that point of time, what was the BJP's charge against the Congress? That while Tarun Gogoi may have brought in a semblance of normalcy and stability to governance, this infiltration or from across the border went on, and if BJP comes to power, they have this kind of infiltration has gone on to such an extent that it now threatens the Assamese identity, and that became a very popular sentiment. Okay, and that became a rallying point. The Congress so long, I mean, at least initially, the Congress had been denying that it was a problem. Then eventually they said that, well, if it's a problem, then, we are not the only ones responsible for it. AGP did nothing about it. Borders are porous, etc. So, we'll have to put our heads together and work towards it. So, this Assamese identity is a very complicated, complex political problem. And as I see it, in the sense, complex, I wouldn't say complicated. I mean, of course, it's complicated and complex. But the point is that in terms of BJP's politics, it's also an issue over which they find that a large number of Assamese would come around. And that's why, as I see it, Mr. Sharma's comment is essentially to make Congress as a party that supports infiltration or outsiders versus us who are there to protect the indigenous identity. So what I'm trying to say is that it is not, an off-the-cuff remark, which is hateful and hurtful, but it is designed in a way to polarize the election and also, cater to a certain sentiment on the ground, who would otherwise may want to, question the BJP. Don't forget that BJP has also completed 2 terms, 10 years, since 2016, from 2016 to 2026. So there will be some element of anti-incumbency. There will be questions on governance. There will be questions on delivery, all of that. So when you bring identity to the fore, it actually helps you beat some of that anti-incumbency. So that's how I look at it.
No, fair enough, and explained in a very detailed way. My final question, Mr. Sandeep Phukan, is, if this is Mr. Himanta Biswa Sarma's strategy, is it going to work vis-a-vis Congress?
So, I think you also said that these are hurtful and hateful comments. Why isn't the Congress responding? So actually, Congress is responding. I mean, I think what you asked in the previous question, Congress is responding, but Congress, as I said, Congress cannot respond beyond a point, because the moment, as I told you, that like in tennis, you have forced errors. They would want the Congress, the BJP and Mr. Sharma would want the Congress to respond in a way where they seem to justify infiltration, where they, end up saying that, where they end up saying things that gives a handle to the BJP, and BJP can say that, look, we always told you that Congress never bothered about the local Assamese indigenous sentiment. So, and that is why they are attacking us. We are protecting you. That is, which is why the Congress has decided, perhaps in its own wisdom, to go in a different way. They wouldn't have, so every state presents a different situation on the ground. And our understanding may be somewhat different from, sitting at a distance. What can be very obvious to you that why aren't they attacking the BJP? Why aren't they taking him to court? Or why are they not attacking him on, a party that talks about secular credentials? Why is it not doing enough? As I told you, that there is a history, there is underlying identity politics. So Congress would not want to endorse, or they haven't endorsed any of these statements, but they also would not want to be seen on the wrong side of the identity debate. And that is the reason why they're doing this tightrope walk, where they are trying to ask him questions on governance, on alleged corruption, on, all kinds of things, delivery, freebies, but at the same time not take him on very aggressively on this issue of identity. So this is how I read it. But yeah, I mean, I would imagine that Congress is actually also to some extent playing to the local sentiment and playing to the gallery, because they also have to take along other regional parties. Remember, I forgot to add that earlier. Apart from the comments that you referred to, I mean, I'm presuming you are referring to the comments about Mia and that how
Yes,
the
Mia
BJP.
comments, and also that tweet where you saw uh, someone visibly Muslim being shot at point blank range with point blank written.
No,
All sorts of
I think, Sanket, on that, the BJP has said, I mean, Mr. Sharma, the Chief Minister, has quite clearly said that that was not from his personal handle. It was from the BJP handle. He did not endorse it. And I'm told that they actually changed the entire social media team. They sacked the person responsible. Even here, they tried to actually find a Congress angle, saying that one of the people who had come in had actually had previous Congress links, etc. But as I said, that Mia comment is actually a deliberate comment, which is basically trying to A, polarize the election, B, also it finds resonance on the ground in terms of local sentiments. C, it also wants to project the Congress party the BJP wants to project the Congress party in a certain way. That they are only given to appeasement, they are only given to, they don't bother about the indigenous sentiment or the Assamese identity. So all of that is the reason why they have tried to. But this is also a clever way to also not ask questions on your own record. See, for example, Congress has raised it, but not perhaps aggressively. For 10 years, it's the BJP government that has been there in the state, and 10 years at the center. Borders are also guarded by the BSF. It is the Ministry of Home Affairs that manages the borders. So if there is infiltration happening even now, then who's to be blamed? Whatever happened, right? But the point is that there is accountability both of the center as well as the state government. But if you keep this issue very charged up, then those questions are not asked or not effectively asked. So that is how I see it.
Fair enough. Thank you very much, Mr. Sandeep Phukan, for joining us. Let's see whether this strategy, which you point out, of the Congress party to not harp too much on Assam identity-related issues that Mr. Himanta Biswa Sarma is raising, will help them in the election or not. Thank you very much for joining us. Thank you.
Thank you, Sanket.
All right, joining us right now is Mr. Wasbir Hussain. He's the editor-in-chief of Northeast Live TV. Thank you very much, Mr. Wasbir. Someone who knows the pulse of the state of Assam, and we have had the honor and privilege of having spoken to him for very many decades now. Thank you very much, Mr. Wasbir. Assam elections.
Welcome,
thank you. Assam elections, and it seems that Mr. Himanta Biswa Sarma has now become synonymous with Assam politics. Now, the problem, Mr. Wasbir, is that most of what he does, one really wonders whether on which side of the political divide you are to call him famous or infamous for his utterances, for his comments. I would like to know your view, and also how much of that will have an impact on his political fortunes in the coming election.
Well, you see, Dr. Himanta Biswa Sarma is one of the most veteran political leaders in Assam. He has been in student politics ever since the 90s, and it was in 1996 that he first cut his electoral foray. That was from his constituency of Jalukbari in the vicinity of Guwahati. That was his first election that he contested, and he lost the elections to the Assam Ganaparishad veteran Bhigu Kumar Phukan. That was after the Assam Accord was signed. But ever since the next election, that is in 2001, there has been no looking back for Dr. Himanta Biswa Sarma. He had won the election in 2001, 2006, 2011, 2016, 2021, and now he is seeking re-election for the sixth term. And as you know, he had been with the Congress, and there were differences with then Chief Minister Gaurav Gogoi, and he left the Congress and joined the BJP in 2015. Immediately, the BJP made him an election convener, and he, along with others, brought about victory for the first time to the BJP in 2016. Ever since, he had held top portfolios until 2021, when he won his own seat for the fifth time on that occasion by a margin of more than 130,000 votes, and he became the chief minister. Now, that is what is the background in a nutshell as far as Himanta Biswa Sarma is concerned. Now, as far as the BJP is concerned, you and I know how the BJP's election fighting capabilities are concerned. That they are on an election mode almost 24/7. And so is the case with Himanta Biswa Sarma. Now, ever since he became chief minister in the last 5 years, he has been working non-stop for the growth and development of Assam. But the point is, it is for the opposition to point out issues. There will be issues with every government. Whatever party in power, there is every government will be criticized. There will be a counter narrative. But as far as Assam is concerned, if you take this election into consideration, the BJP is forcing ahead as far as this election campaign is concerned. Prime Minister has already come 3 times. Home Minister had come twice. Prime Minister is coming again and addressing 4 rallies in the next few days. And as far as the Congress is concerned, till last night, Congress is the main opposition party. But unfortunately, Congress has not been able to force a big alliance which can really put off a tough fight to the BJP. Whereas the BJP has given 37 seats to its 2 alliance partners, with whom it has been steady. That means almost 1/3 of the seats, 126-member assembly, BJP has given the seats, 26 to the Assam Ganaparishad, the bigger ally, and 11 seats to the smaller ally in the Bodo heartland, which is the Bodoland People's Front. That means the 37 seats have been given to its alliance partners. The Congress has finalized its alliance after lots of hiccups with one regional party, that is the Raizor Dol, which translated into English is People's Party, 11 seats, and to another regional party and some left parties 15 seats. So Congress have given only 26 seats to its alliance partners, and that too, they have been bogged down with forcing this alliance, which was clinched with great difficulty only last night. And therefore, they are not in a campaign mode at all. None of the top Congress leaders are here so far. And to cap it all, Sanket, 2 top Congress leaders, the Congress president, who quit the Congress and joined the BJP 1 month ago, and 2 days ago, the 2-time sitting MP was elected only in 2024. He had forfeited 3.5 years of his Lok Sabha tenure, quit the Congress and joined the BJP, and given nomination within 24 hours for the prestigious Dispur Lok Sabha seat in Guwahati. So that is what is going on in the BJP camp as well as the Congress camp. And as far as Dr. Himanta Biswa Sarma is concerned, I'll say one line and conclude for you to ask me the next question. The BJP's narrative has been growth and development and providing protection to the indigenous people and the indigenous culture. Now, the Congress's narrative, we are yet to see. Congress's narrative has been leveling allegations against the BJP, which is not surprising. But Congress has not yet come up with a counter narrative where it is talking anything positive to its constituents, that is the electorate. So that is the condition as of now.
Yeah, Mr. Wasbir, it's nice that you explained where politically each of these parties stand. But my question once again is, obviously, Mr. Himanta Biswa Sarma has now become synonymous with Assam politics. And when come Assam elections, it's his neck on the line. He's the chief minister defending his title. When he makes hateful comments against Muslims by referring to them as Mia, of course, it's done in a context of all those people who came in from Bangladesh. I understand the context. But for it to loosely appear in the electoral discourse, do you think this is going to go in his favor or against him in these elections?
I don't think it is going to go against him because, yes, you're right. He has been referring he has been using this terminology, Mia, several times in the last couple of months. But he has clarified, he has since gone on to clarify that by Mia, he is referring to the illegal Bangladeshi migrants because you see, there has been a special revision of the electoral rolls in Assam before these elections, and 2.5 lakh names. 250,000 names of people with doubtful citizenship have been struck off. Because, as you know, this correction of electoral rolls or revision of electoral rolls has been a continuous process in Assam. It has been a continuous process, and every time some names gets deleted. And now this time round, there was a special revision in Assam. Unlike the special intensive revision, SIR, unlike the SIR, there was a SR in Assam, that is special revision. And in this special revision, 250,000 names have been struck off. So one can assume, I'm using the word assume, that these are names of doubtful citizens. Now, Dr. Himanta Biswa Sarma, you are right. He has been facing, his critics have been asking the same question that you asked, that why is he referring to people, a community as Mia? But he has since gone on to clarify that by this word terminology, he means people of illegal migrants of Bangladesh origin or erstwhile East Bengal origin. And the same breath, Dr. Himanta Biswa Sarma recently made a very specific comment. He said that the indigenous Assamese Muslims, he claimed that indigenous Assamese Muslims are this time round are going to vote for the BJP. So I see, if you ask me why did he make this comment, so I see that he wants to make a clear distinction between the indigenous Assamese Muslims living in the state from generations and the migrant settlers who have come and settled down in Assam. So hope this clarifies your question.
Mr. Wasbir, my next question, what do you think is working for Himanta Biswa Sarma's administration, and what do you think will not work? After all, this is 10 years of anti-incumbency, 5 years of his rule, and then 5 years of a previous rule. So when he's facing the electors, or the BJP, not him particularly, but when the BJP is facing the voters for the third time to defend the title, at a time like this, what are his biggest challenges?
Yes, you are absolutely right. The BJP first came to power in Assam in 2016 when Sarbananda Sonowal, currently a union minister, was the chief minister. And this second term was under Dr. Himanta Biswa Sarma in 2021. So as far as the BJP is concerned, this is the third time. And if now what is going in favor of Dr. Himanta Biswa Sarma's government and what is going against him, let me try to briefly touch these 2 points. Now, what is going in his favor is the unprecedented infrastructure development that Assam has seen in the last 5 to 6 years. Now, we have the semiconductor plant that has been set up near Guwahati. It's a 30,000 crore project, which is likely to change the economic and industrial landscape of the state. Now, Assam had conducted a very successful Assam Investment Summit last year, where several lakh crores of investments are being promised, and some of these are in the process of turning into reality. That is number one. The industrial climate is growing, and there's a big airport that has come up. This is an Adani funded, of course, airport, Guwahati International Airport. It has come out at a cost of 6,000 crore, and Guwahati is poised to become an aviation hub. Not just to the rest of India, it's already one of the 10 busiest airports, existing airport itself a 10 busiest airport. But once this airport has partly become operational, it will become fully operational soon, it is expected to become an aviation hub for the whole of Southeast Asia. Because as you know, the big Asian tigers, the Asian tiger economies are within 3 hours flying distance from Guwahati. So that is a big plus point. And the state government has launched a multiple schemes, and they have given jobs to 165,000 people. So when he took over in 2021, Dr. Himanta Biswa Sarma had promised to give 100,000 jobs to the unemployed youths in Assam. But he has ended up his tenure by giving jobs to 165,000 people. Now, there are specific schemes aimed at women. These schemes, by these schemes, women are getting 9 to 10,000 rupees. Every woman is getting. So these are some of the schemes, community-specific schemes to bridge the societal divide. So there are specific schemes going on. So these are things which he has connected him to the people. Plus, he is someone who is on the move 24/7. He conducted a 10-day Jan Asirvad Yatra across Assam just 2 weeks ago. He ended this 10-day. So that connect he always establishes, always continues to remain the connect. Now, his biggest challenge, if you ask me, the opposition has hardly succeeded in providing an electoral challenge. That is what I see as a journalist. But I always say voter is the king, and we have to wait till 4th of May to see the results. But you and I, we have been analyzing the trends. We have been predicting the verdict all our life. In the last more than 4 decades that I have been in journalism, I have been predicting who is having an edge. But if you ask me, if I have to stick my neck out today and say who has an edge in Assam, I would definitely say it is the BJP and its allies. And that is simply because, I have not forgotten the fact that Congress was in power for 15 years at a stretch under the leadership of Gaurav Gogoi. I have not forgotten about it. But what I'm saying is that today the Congress is an absolutely divided house. They've removed the Congress president, installed Gaurav Gogoi as the president. That Congress president had quit and joined the BJP. The 2-term MP has gone and joined the BJP. One of the vice presidents of the Congress had gone and joined the BJP. Several people from the Congress have also gone and joined other parties. Now, the problem is, Pradut Bodoloi, the MP who joined the Congress 2 days ago, he was the chairman of the Congress's election manifesto committee. So I suspect that his name was already printed in the manifesto, because I don't think the Congress will be waiting till today to print its manifesto. His name must have been already printed, I'm assuming. But if that is so, then they have to reprint the thing and remove Pradut Bodoloi's name. So that is my thing. And Congress has not been able to give a solid contest so far as the campaign is concerned. So it's all along today. As we speak, only an hour ago, Dr. Himanta Biswa Sarma had filed his nomination. And nomination was from a large public ground to the electoral officer's office. It was a distance of about 3 to 4 kilometers. There were thousands of people accompanying Dr. Himanta Biswa Sarma as he went to file his nomination. And he said that, this time the election is not going to be as tough as before. So why is he making this statement that he said the election is not going to be tough? Because of the inability of the opposition to present itself as a cohesive opposition. Yes, at the last moment, last night, they have been able to forge an alliance with one party, and the total alliance, they have left 26 of the 126 seats. That means the Congress is contesting 100 seats. So we have to wait and watch, and whether Gaurav Gogoi is a general with his army or Gaurav Gogoi is a general without his army. Will only March 4, the election results will come to know that.
May the 4th. But the point, Mr. Wasbir, that I wanted to ask you are the challenges that Himanta Biswa Sarma faces. with your reply, it almost appears as if there is no challenge to him, or there is no challenger to Himanta Biswa Sarma. Do you think that a potentially weak opponent kind of benefits Himanta Biswa Sarma in a way where he does not have to explain too much on issues that may concern people about his administration? For instance, a 10-year of BJP rule is bound to have anti-incumbency on the ground, is bound to have some complications and people's issues on the ground.
See, Sanket, to answer this question, yesterday I was doing a debate on my show, and the Congress spokesperson who was there said that there is large-scale corruption by this government. Now, I asked that, okay, this is what you are saying, but this is election eve. You have to come out with a white paper, or you have to come up with specific allegations, specific charges. What are the specific charges do you have? I'm prepared to listen, but I could not get any specific answer. So that is the problem with the opposition, that counter narrative is just not missing. And since it's not there, the counter narrative, it is definitely easy for Dr. Himanta Biswa Sarma, or for that matter, any incumbent government. So the counter narrative is lacking. Now, another thing, Sanket, I must bring to your notice is that, Dr. Himanta Biswa Sarma has been leveling charges against the Congress president, accusing him of being a Pakistani agent, and questioned his visit to Pakistan, and said that you visited Pakistan in 10 days you stayed. This is the allegations leveled by Dr. Himanta Biswa Sarma. He said that your initial entry was to Lahore, and then the Interior Minister of Pakistan intervened and allowed Gaurav Gogoi to travel to Rawalpindi and Islamabad and so on and so forth. There was an SIT instituted by the Assam government. SIT has also come up with his report. Now, the BJP is asking Gaurav Gogoi, where is your solid reply? Where is your counter reply? So he has refuted the allegations, but that it is disproportionate, because the charges and the response, they do not match. The response if we have to listen to the BJP, they're saying the response is pretty weak, and he has to come clean on the charges leveled by the chief minister. But that is if we leave that aside, my point why I'm saying that the BJP has an edge is that if you ask me what is Himanta Biswa Sarma's challenge now, his challenge is to go ahead, continue with the momentum with which he is proceeding. Now, if you look at the road infrastructure, if you look at the industries showing interest to invest in Assam, these are some of the plus points that he has. And this will be his biggest challenge, to continue this. If he wins the election, he has to once again prove that he can continue with this momentum. And that is going to be his biggest challenge, because the expectations of the youths, the expectations of the people, the expectations of the business community are increasing by the day. And this is, to me, is going to be Dr. Himanta Biswa Sarma's biggest challenge, rather than a challenge from the opposition.
Interesting. It's the burden of the expectations that he himself is setting in the people of Assam, which is going to be his bigger challenge than his challenger or the opponent. Thank you very much, Mr. Wasbir Hussain, for giving us time and putting things in perspective. Thank you.
Thank you, Sanket. Pleasure. Thank you.